Sound check. 3, 2, 1. ABC. 1, 2, 3. All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Friday, Football Friday, October 1st. Hope you're having yourself a good start today. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by bullpenpicks.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join. Follow the top scores each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. In fact, let's go take a look at who our leader is right now at bullpenpicks.com. And our top scorer is Underdog at 820. Yeah, yours truly, Ron Raymond at 780. I snuck up there on Musk, and Musk is there at 780 as well. And there's Roberts, Colorado native, 744. And those are your top scorers right now at bullpenpicks.com. And folks, if you want to follow my baseball selections each and every day, go to bullpenpicks.com, hit most followed. And once you get there, what you want to do is go to the follow my picks link right here. Follow my picks, hit that, and then go to your following page, and you will see my picks. Oh, there's Eddie O's already got his picks, and so does Musk for a Friday, October 1st. Changing a new leaf, as they say in the fall, as we're going right into October, and this is where it can get really busy the next couple of weeks with Major League Baseball going into playoffs, college football, NFL in full stride, CFL, and then you got NHL, NBA. It's a crazy time of year right now if you are sports betting, and this is why less is more, right? Don't get too caught up in all the action, because with all the sports betting action and the boards all look enticing, and a lot of money to be made, but also a lot of money to be lost as well, right? So always keep in mind in that double-edged sword right there. All right, I want to say good morning to the sniper from Edmonton. He's in the house. There's Zachary Reed. There's Eddie O from Montreal. Eddie Ramos. Good morning, Eddie. Hey, we've got Eddie's in the house here. And we got Ball Cash from the ATL. Telly's in the house. Jermaine Brown. And they're all stumbling, rumbling, and tumbling in right now to the bullpen. And that's what we call where the ramblers and gamblers come in each and every day. And we chat and we talk about what's going up. And there's Eric Jones. How you doing, Eric? And we talk about what's going down this weekend in college NFL football. And this is a Football Friday, so we're going to talk about NFL. We will talk a little bit about Major League Baseball. But normally the Friday shows are dedicated to the NFL, and but with baseball into the playoffs coming in next week, we will dabble into baseball, and it's getting a little tougher now to make money in baseball, right? Because now we're getting at that situation where teams have clinched last night, the Astros and the Braves. So we just don't know what kind of lineups these teams are going to put, or if they, after they win a pennant, we don't know what kind of night they had, right? If the champagne was flowing, we just don't know. All right, there's Gloria K. Morning Breakfast Club. I'm in Wisconsin at a golf tournament. Beautiful day in Wisconsin. Yeah, awesome. Have a great day, Gloria K. Zachary Reed, Braves. How about those Braves? Mark Nation will be happy. There's Mark Nation right there. Happy Football Friday. OG's in the house. How you doing, OG Wheat? Go Braves. Hey, this it's like a Atlanta Braves reunion party here today. Everybody liking the Atlanta Braves. I wonder if you guys had it on the 5-star best bet. That was our top play yesterday, and we won with the our two-team parlay. Yeah, our two-team parlay cashed in. We had the Baltimore Orioles at plus 188. And we had the Houston Astros. Remember yesterday I was saying, hey, Tampa Bay. And then when I saw Ryan Yarbrough pitching, I said, okay, I think I'm going to go Houston. Hey, I love Tampa Bay, but when I see Yarbrough, Yarbrough's very cyclical, right? You can love Ryan Yarbrough one day, and you can really say, okay, you know what, don't like him that much today. But yesterday was a day I thought it was a good go against my Tampa Bay Rays. And I say my Tampa Bay Rays because along with them in San Francisco and Seattle, those are the team that make me money. Teams that make me money, all of a sudden they become my team, right? And that's what sports betting is all about. All right, folks, welcome to the show. My name is Ron Raymond. I'm a sports handicapper going into my 24th season, so this is not my first barbecue. And started in 1996 at a site called the Phoenix Sports Ticket, the PST affectionately called. And so that's what got me into the business. And throughout the years, I wrote a book, Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets. In fact, if you go to atsstats.com, you go to 50 Greatest Secrets, you will see my book right there. And also the owner and founder of the World Series of Handicapping Pro Football Contest, season number 10. That's right, season number 10. And folks, if you are into this contest, there's a couple of handicappers you want to check out. These guys here are absolutely on fire. These two guys right here, Falchu and the Phenom, they're leading the pack right now. Look at Falchu's record, 17-4 straight up or against the spread. No, not straight up, against the spread or over-unders. And the Phenom, 16-5. And look, also Wasted 24, Yas, BGMI. Man, we got some really hot handicappers right now, and you want to check out their picks each and every. Well, I don't know if you can check out. No, you can't see their picks until 1 o'clock Sunday, so you can't check out their picks, but you can follow the contest, and let's see who's going to make us some money this weekend. All right, wow, we got everybody stumbling in. It's nice to see everybody coming into the bullpen. There's Elliot V. Good morning, Elliot. Hey, Ronald, as he always says. Hey, Elliot. OG Wheat says, I saw you coach Pearls. I saw you coach Pearls. Yeah, as my good friend Greg Dempson used to say to me every time he called me, Ronnie, he goes, they don't care if you're a nice guy, they just want pearls. So give them the pearls, right? And pearls we call winning picks. Ronald Reagan says Elliot V. Hey, no, Ronald Raymond. Reagan's close enough, but Ronald Raymond. Way to go, Elliot. Great book, Ron. Underdog Sniper, Gloria K, Ball Cash. Top of the morning, Lance LaRose. Can't wait till the NHL begins so I can bet on the Kraken, says Elliot V. I don't know if I want to do that, but I'm watching a bit of preseason. It's tough to get into preseason hockey, right? It's, half the team is American Hockey League players, the other half. But if you're a hockey fan, you're just happy to follow a puck on the ice, right? Okay, that's what hockey. And if you're from depending where you're from, there's always like 2 or 3 teams, right? I'm sure if you're from like the West Coast, you're following the Kings, the Ducks, the Sharks. If you're from down south, like say Florida, you're following the Panthers, the Lightning. Maybe who else would you follow down there? Maybe Nashville. And if you're from Canada, the East Coast, you're following the big 3, right? The Leafs, the Sens, and the Canadians. And from the West Coast, you're following those 2 teams from Alberta. And poor Edmonton Winnipeg stuck in the middle, eh? Hey, Sniper? I don't know. Winnipeg stuck in the middle, so you got love from both half the country, right? Half from the east of Canada and the west from Canada. But if you're from Western Canada, you're following the Flames, the Oilers, and the Canucks, right? All right, got a good show lined up for you guys here today. We're going to talk some NFL. I got some good NFL selections for you. I hope they're good. I've been having a pretty good year. If you've been at the Rain Report, we're 5-2 with our premium pick, so having a good season so far, knock on wood. We're going to look at the NFL stats and trends, the standings. I'm going to look at the top home and road teams the last 2 years, and also the top favorites and underdogs, and you'll be quite amused with the findings that I'm going to show you guys. We'll do the computer picks. I'll handicap some of the Friday night college football games, and then we'll talk about some of the Major League Baseball games going tonight. Now, this is a tough weekend to handicap baseball, right? Like I already saw the Blue Jays at minus 305, right? Yeah, okay. Thanks for coming out. Minus 305, and we'll see what's going to happen. Seattle's got to have something to say about this weekend. I think Seattle's the wild card. Remember, I've been telling you guys since that Oakland series, I said, guys, if Seattle sweeps Oakland, that was about, 10 days ago? I said, watch out for this Mariners team. The pitching in the bullpen has been phenomenal. They're just that team that flies under the radar. I don't know if it's because they're on the West Coast. Nobody's, Western time. Nobody watches those late games. But Seattle just keeps trucking along and just keeps making money for their gamblers, right? All right, speaking of gamblers, let's go pay our respects to the horse racing industry as we do each and every day. We start off the show with a free horse racing pick. And to me, this is the perfect way to start a sports betting podcast, right? Go right to the ponies, but because like a good friend of mine used to say, the horses got to eat too, so we got to go feed those horses today at Churchill Downs. Churchill Downs race number 1 is a $10,000 maiden claiming race, 12:45 post time, 7 furlongs on the dirt. We're going to go 925 recommendation in race number 1 today at Churchill Downs. Tri-board with Gutierrez taking a ride here on the number 9 horse. Tri-board, 5-1 morning line. The number 2 horse, Jump Into the Fire. CJ Hernandez taking a ride here on Jump Into the Fire. 3-1 morning line on the 2 horse. Hernandez 31% in the money the last 100 races. And the number 5 horse, Sunset at Mallory. Bergiano taking a ride here on the number 5 horse, Sunset at Mallory. 4-1 morning line. Now, the long shot today, the Joker's Wild. The value play of the day is the 8-horse Brody Slam. John Talamo taking a ride here on the number 8-horse Brody Slam. And that is your value play of the day here in race number 1 today at Churchill Downs. Now, if you're going to play an exacta today at Churchill Downs, 922558. And if you're going to play a trifecta, 925-825 trifecta. And always remember to box those horses. All right, Rusty went to the vet yesterday. We got him neutered yesterday, and he's not too happy right now. He's wearing one of those big collars. So if you hear the door hitting thing, it's just Rusty with his satellite dish on his neck there. He's not too happy today, Rusty is, and we take care of our dogs, right? So. Anyways, so that's why I just heard the door clinker there. That must be Rusty trying to get into the show. Maybe, I used to bring Rusty in on a Friday. Maybe I'll bring him in today to brighten up his day. All right, let's go to the show, and let's see. We're going to kick it off here. The SBI, yeah, we always start off with the SBI, and let's see what the sports betting index is telling us today in Major League Baseball. How did those favorites do yesterday? Yeah, Rusty gets a lot of love in this show, right? Hey, if you're dog lovers, I'm an animal lover. I love animals. I used to have a bird, Lucy. I don't know if you guys remember Lucy, my cockatiel. Formerly Lucy flew the coop, the coop one day, right? Opened the door and there goes Lucy. Boom, Lucy was gone. Now I inherited a fish from my niece. Hey, my fish is named Friday, and my dog's name's Rusty. And so now you know a little bit about the animal love here at Animal House, right? All right, Major League Baseball yesterday in the favorites, 8-4 yesterday for the favorites, and the favorites have won today the last 8 days. In fact, the last time the dogs had their day. Speaking of dogs, hey, like a Rusty, that's where Rusty has to come in here. Hey, this is what I mean. If I was a big league operation, I'd have all these props, right? 8-4 yesterday. The 23rd of September was the last time the underdogs took the day, but 8-4 yesterday for the favorites, 6-0, and we only had 12 games yesterday, so 6-6 yesterday for the over unders. All right, take a look at the 7-day average. 71% of the favorites have come in the last 7 days, and look at the year, right? 59.4. And if you've been following the show, I said since the trade deadline, July 30th, watch the favorites. Every league has their moment, right? In hockey, the trade deadline. In football not so much, right? There's the trade deadlines in football really. I don't know, for some reason maybe the weekly sports don't affect it. But you look at NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, those trade deadlines, man, the favorites just go crazy after that, right? All right, I see some Rusty love out there. So Elliot V says I'm on Seattle money line, Yanks. Poor Rusty, I'm a dog lover. I got a pug. You got a pug, right on. Hey, I love animals. Red Sox killed my parlay yesterday. Hey, our Boris, hey, you should have been a member of ATS Stats because I gave out the Baltimore Orioles along with the Houston Astros as a 2-team parlay. And dogs are awesome. There are a lot of dog memes on the Ron Raymond Twitter channel. I love animals. Have 2 dogs, says Gloria K. What's your dog's name, Gloria? Hey, let us know your pug's name and your dog's name. If you have a dog, I always love to see what people call their dogs. It shows hey, just see what kind of characters we got out there. Speaking of dogs, speaking of underdogs, that's what we try to give out here too, right? Nice dogs are a little cool, like alien person, says underdogs. I have 2 hamsters, says Elliot V. Hey, you know what? That counts. That counts, Elliot. Hey, those are animals. Cracks me up when they get on the wheel. Oh, that's good. All right. So as you can see, we got dog lovers, we got animal lovers in the house, and that's what we're all about. We're all about a community who support each other. And let me see here. I had Oreos. I'm on Kai. Oh, I'm Kai Cobb on the site. Nice. All right, Kai Cobb. Yeah, you're having a good run here at bullpenpicks.com. Kai Cobb, where is he? Kai Cobb. I know you were up there the last couple of weeks. Did you have a bad couple of days there, Kai Cobb? I can't even see on the score sheet anymore. Where is Kai Cobb? Oh, well, no. Yeah, you're right there in the top score there last couple of weeks. Where's my guy Kai Cobb here? Hey, I don't have... Hey, Kai, you're going down the wrong browser here. I'm going to have to get a special browser to see the standings here. Rocco the Pug says OG Wheat. Diesel and Kenzie are the Gloria K's dogs. Paco and Iggy. Paco and Iggy. That sounds like a great band there, Lance. Hey, Paco and Iggy sounds like a great 80s band, right? I went down to 300. Ooh, 300. I get. Yeah, you must be using a strategy, right? The red-nosed pit bull named Faith, says Miss Denica. That's awesome. Pit bull. Hey, a red-nosed pit bull named Faith. Yeah, Paco and Iggy, Rocco the pug, and Diesel and Kenzie. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so we got some, we'll see. You know what? Feels good on a Friday, right? A football Friday. Everybody's in a great mood. Looking forward to the weekend. I know it's going to rain here in Ottawa. And for people who follow CIS football, or the U Sports football they call it now, this is our annual Panda game. Normally I do the game on Rogers TV, but this year I didn't get the call because I don't think they're broadcasting the community channel. So normally we have this big game between Ottawa U and Carleton, and they call it the Panda game. And I'm fortunate enough sometimes to do the color analyst with the play-by-play guy, Dan Mooney. Dan the Man Mooney. But unfortunately this year with COVID, but I don't think we're, well, I know we're not doing the game, because if I was doing the game, I would have got the call this week, right? But I'll be watching online. And yeah, if you go to, if you just go to Google and you type in Ottawa U Panda game, you'll see it's a really good game, Carleton Ottawa U. It's our version of, well, I don't know what I can compare it in the States. It's almost like it's not a bowl game, but it's a rivalry game, right? All right, I'm on the road now, and I feel like I gotta go. Bobby Guerrero, you'll be covering baseball today. Yeah, absolutely, we'll be covering baseball pretty soon. All right, we'll do that near the end of the show there, Bobby. All right, good morning, Quentin. How you doing? All right, what's on deck here? Let's go to the NFL stats and trends. So let's go to our NFL stats and trends. I got a couple of good stats for you guys. My top 10 here are on the front page of atsstats.com. And if you like NFL betting, here's I call these trends are your friends, but when I heard a good one says trends don't pay the rent sometimes, right? And you got to take trends as as indicators. The one thing I'll recommend is, like, anytime I give out these trends, don't think it's a pick. Just look at it as an indicator. It's like a cherry on top of the cake. If you win your pick, right? So the Packers 15-2 as a home team playing the month of October the last 10 years. Wow, that's a pretty good record right there. The under 8-2 for the Jets as a home team when the total is 45.5 or higher the last 3 years. The under is 8-2 for the Dolphins as a home team coming off an AFC West division opponent the last 10 seasons. So they were out on the West Coast last week against the Raiders. The Lions, I like the Lions this week. I like them a lot. The Lions are 9-2-1 against the point spread as a road underdog in the month of October when they're coming off a home loss. Yeah, that was a bad loss, and scored more than 10 points in back-to-back games. The New York Football Giants, really good road team to cover the spread the last couple of years. I'll show you that in just a minute. The Giants are 13-1-1 against the point spread as a road underdog in October while coming off back-to-back straight-up losses. So the last 2 losses, and allowed 17 points or more against in their last game. Dallas Cowboys, how about them Cowboys? 10-1 against the point spread as a home favorite before a division game, and they're coming off 3 ATS wins. That's a pretty good one right there, but I like Carolina this weekend. The over, 13-3-0 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a road team during the month of October, and they're coming off a 1-game loss. I do like the over in that game. The under is 8-2 for the Chicago Bears as a home team after a non-conference game, coming off 1 ATS loss, and they're coming off a road loss as an underdog, and that is the under in the Chicago-Detroit game. You know what? For some reason, is it just me or those games always going over? I'll have to check the Chicago Bears' last 10 games with Detroit. The under 9-1 for the Fly Eagles Fly when they're a home team coming off back-to-back ATS losses the last 4 years. So if you like football, you can get these stats and trends each and every day right here at atsstats.com. Look for the Aaron Rodgers pictures, and those are the stats right there for week number 4 of the National Football League. Hey, that's my DJ voice right there. I just want DJ voice on you guys. All right, let me see here. What else we got? NFL team ATS standings. All right, so always like to you know what? It's always good to see who's who in the zoo and who's covering the spread and who's having. So sometimes we get so caught up in game matchups that we tend to forget the point spread. I don't, but some people do. Denver Broncos 3-0 against the point spread. Dallas Cowboys 3-0. Carolina Panthers, Matt Rule. If you can get Matt Rule Coach of the Year, I would have done it yesterday. I think this guy, I've been saying that, I've been pumping his tires for about 3 weeks now. Matt Rule, Goes to Temple, turns that program around. Goes to Baylor, turn that program around. Goes to Carolina, second year, 3-0. Hello. Hey, hello, Matt Rule. Doing a heck of a job out there, buddy. Arizona 2-1. Let's take a look at the bad teams. New York Jets, Washington, Kansas City. You believe that? Kansas City is 0-3. Jacksonville 0-3, 0-4. Or no, 1-3 now last night. Actually, this updates not instantly, as you can see. We update it every week. But Urban Meyer, hey, it's you got to feel for Urban Meyer. I love Urban Meyer as a coach. I read his books. He's got some good philosophy in his books. But sometimes you just wonder, I say it all the time, especially in hockey, right? I always use the Brian Trottier rule. You guys remember Brian? Maybe some of the younger guys don't remember Brian Trottier. Brian Trottier was one of the best NHL hockey players to play on the line with Mike Bossy and the New York Islanders. He was a great assistant coach. Brian Trottier was a great assistant coach for many years, and then he goes to be a head coach, and it didn't work out, right? Some people are just meant to be an assistant coach or coach in the NHL, and I look at Urban Meyer, and to me, going up to the next level at NFL, you rarely see good football college coaches go to NFL because it's all business up there. And your rah-rah and your siskumba, that doesn't work at the NFL level, right? When you're a mentor at college, you're mentoring young men to be good people in the community, right? And hopefully, the 10% will go to the NFL if it's 10%. But some people are just great to be at the college football level. And I think Urban Meyer is a college football coach. And no disrespect to Urban Meyer, it's just that's where his bread's buttered. That's where he made his name. And to go to the NFL. Now he can go on the next couple of years, and Trevor Lawrence will light it up and he'll look good. But at the end of the day, I think he's better served as a college football coach. That's just my 2 cents, right? I'm always looking, when you've coached football and the older you get, the more wiser you get, and you realize that a lot of these players and athletes need mentoring. It's about leading them down the right path, right? Because there's two paths in life: the wrong path and the right path. And hopefully you're able, if you're ever fortunate enough to coach football, hockey, any sports, the one thing you always do, you want to compete and you want to do well in sports. But the thing is, you're more proud of when you set somebody on the right path of life, right? And there's the Ron Raymond rant, eh? Never a day I get off track with my Ron Raymond rants, right? But hey, it is what it is, eh? Leopard can't change his stripes. All right, let's go to let's take a look at the league standings right now. Let's take a look at what's making money. Now, I took a look at this morning in the football, and man, underdogs are actually killing it. And I'll show you which range they're actually killing it. But before I do, I want to say good morning to, there's Quentin. There's, who else is loading up here into the bullpen? There's Elliot. Let me see what you guys are saying. Why the Rams line is dropping? Traffic, oh Lord, says Elliot V. Elliot just drove to Wisconsin, and my son had to stop 3 times. Oh Lordy. Oh, lordy, it's tough to be 40, right? Rookie QBs, 0-12 versus veteran quarterbacks so far this season. Wow. Yeah, rookie quarterbacks, says Mark Nations, 0-12 against veteran quarterbacks this season. Yeah, hey, I always use the Josh Rosen experience, right? When he was at Arizona, you don't start a kid who just came, like Zach Wilson. You probably have to card him to get into the stadium, right? Still looks like he's too young to drink alcohol. But to me, I don't like seeing rookie quarterbacks thrown into the fire, right? I think the way Aaron Rodgers did it when he came up and he was with, I think was it Atlanta, or and then he went to Green Bay. I can't remember. Was it Brett Favre that was in Atlanta? I can't remember. Anyways, he learned under Brett Favre, and then he waited for a spot, and then boom. You got to learn under somebody. And to me, the speed of the game changes at every level. And, what you get away in college, you don't get away in the NFL. In college, there's 6 pros on the field at all times. In the NFL, there's 11 pros on the field at all times, right? And that's the difference between college football and every level you go. Like, you look at high school. If you got a good high school program, you got maybe 1 or 2 players that are going to be pros one day on the field, right? The studs. You can get away with that at those levels, but not in the NFL. Hey, like Jerry Glanville will say, not for long if you keep that up. They go over in the Bears. No McCaffrey for Panthers. Yeah, no McCaffrey. That's going to be interesting. And this is where you got to coach it up, right? But the thing is, with no Christian McCaffrey this week, you had all week to game plan. And it's tougher when you lose McCaffrey in the second quarter of a football game compared to a whole week of preparation getting ready. So we'll see if what's his name, Matt Rule gets the team ready and prepared for this week. Have no stripes, leopards have no spot, not stripes. Leopard have spots, not stripes. All right, thanks for correcting me there, Elliot. But you know what I was trying to say. Smells like eggs in my car, says, hey, Elliot V says, smells like eggs in my car. Well, Elliot, you got to crack a window down. That's what you got to do, my friend. Gonna have to catch the replay. Hope everyone has a good day. Hope we all see each other at the cashier window, says Mitchell. Have a good day, Mitchell. Thanks for the pearl, coach. Looks like Justin Fields was in tears last week. Yeah, Justin Fields, again, these rookie quarterbacks thrown to the wolves. Not doing them any service doing that, right? All right, let's take a look at the NFL and see which range of favorites and underdogs are doing well so far. And again, everything in green and red is mean you're late to the party, and everything in yellow is from a market psychology means you and the bookmaker on even playing field, right? The balance. Looking at this, though, look at the underdogs right here. Underdogs of 3.5 to 6.5. Check this out. 15-6 against the point spread, 71.4%. Now, last night, that's what was that line last night? 6.5? 7.5. So that line last night was 7.5, and the favorites at 7.5 this year, 5-4 now, right? So this is going to turn yellow next week. Looking at some of the other numbers, home favorites of -3.5 to 6.5, 3-10. So, but you can look at it a two-way, right? You can say, okay, so home favorites of 3.5 to 6.5 are 3-10 against the point spread. So does that mean there's value and you start fading that and going, you take those teams? Like, I like Kansas City this week, and I'll get to that in just a second. But Kansas City's a 7-point favorite, I think. 6.5 or 7, right? I see 6.5 earlier in the week. So if that might work out for us this week. Let me see. Road favorites of 6.5 works out to 3-5. So again, not a great, but if you're thinking contrarian, this could be a good play. Let's see if there's any over-unders. Road teams of the total of 41.5 to 44. 1-7 to the under. So that's a pretty good stat right there. And let me see if there's any other ranges. Picking the +3 underdogs, 10-5 against this point spread. That's pretty good. And when you combine that with Pick'em to +6.5, just underdogs this year, 25-11. So that works out to what, about 68% maybe? So anyways, I always like to look at this each and every Friday to see what's going on with the total, because the bookmakers, their job, you see it looks like a Christmas tree right now, right? All the yellow and red. Watching about 2-3 weeks from now, it's going to be more yellow, and that's the bookmaker adjusting his lines to balance out the, like I always say, you got 100 bettors in a room. You want 50 betting on one side, the other 50 on the other, and the bookmaker will make his juice in the middle. But it's a long season, right? They don't try to make all their money in 1 week. So this is why we look at the long game and not the short game. All right, what's on schedule next? We're going to take a look at the top home teams. So what I did this morning is I went into my Faithful database, and I said, all right, let's go take a look. So let's go to NFL. Let's see if it kicks me out here and goes me back to the front page. Because after, let me see here. Yep, so if I haven't been there in a while, it kicks me out. So I got to go back. So let's take a look at home teams, and then we'll take a look at road teams. And I'll go back to last year. Let's go back to September 1st, and let's go to 2020, and let's go to prior to yesterday's game. We won't include yesterday's game. So let's go to let's go September. Yesterday was the 30th, so let's go to the 29th. All right, let's go to the 29th. And let's take a look at who's been the best home teams in the last 2 years and see which team, we're trying to find value, right? Everything is cyclical. Don't want to say that 10 times. And looking at the Patriots, 8-2 to the under as a home team since last year. Miami Dolphins, 7-2 against the point spread at home this year, the last 2 years. So we're going back to 2 seasons here. And let me see what else we got. Buffalo, 8-4. Buffalo 10-2 at home, but 8-4 against the point spread. But I'm not laying 17 points this weekend. The New York Jets, not that good. Baltimore, 6-3, respectable, right? Cincinnati, 5-2 against the point spread at home. That's a very good one. Last night, though, they didn't do well. Now take a look at favorites after. Favorites and underdogs, who've been the best team. Cleveland, 8-2 at home the last 2 years. Tennessee, Jacksonville, 3-7 at home. 1-9 straight up. man, Urban Meyer is going to be, not good, for Urban Meyer. Houston 3-7. Kansas City. Remember I told you guys Kansas City has not covered a spread at home in a dog's age. 4-9 the last 2 years. 9-3-1 straight up. And Denver, you got the Broncos 4-5. I thought a little bit better, but it's not. Raiders. Look at the Raiders. 9-1 to the over. So if you've been betting the Raiders game over at home, you're 9-1 so far. And if you're looking at some of the other Cowboys, 7-2 to the over for the Cowboys. So you might want to consider the over. New York Giants at home, look at that, 2-8. But the Giants on the road, I'll show you that in a second. Giants are money makers on the road. Green Bay 9-2, 7-4 against the point spread. Vikings 7-2, and you got Chicago Bears 3-6 to the under. Lions 1-9 straight up, 7-3 to the over. Detroit at home, high scoring affairs. That's because they probably play no defense. 7-3. Carolina only 4-6 straight up and against the point spread at home the last 2 years. You got the Saints 8-3 straight up. Who else do we got here? Tampa Bay 8-3 and 6-3-2. Falcons 2-7 straight up. LA Rams 7-3, but look at this, 8-2 to the under. 8-2 to the under. You know when you got a good defense, that's what happens, right? You play a lot of unders. 8-2 straight up. Seahawks 7-3 at home, 6-4 to the point spread, and the Niners 1-8. Wow, that's a shocker. San Francisco 1-8 straight up at home, 2-7. And it's always good to do these type of exercise because there's a perception out there that you see the way San Francisco played the first 2 games, then they lose on a last second field goal. But you are what your record says you are, says Bill Parcells. And San Francisco, you are 1-8 the last 2 years at home, and that's not too good, right? Not too good. All right, let's take a look at the away teams. Can you check the Bears under? They usually go over the total. Yep, for sure. I'll check that in just 1 second. In fact, let me bring out that. Let me bring out the regular database. So let me go to Detroit. Remember, I want to check out that Detroit Chicago. For some reason, I want to think that Detroit in Chicago, those games always go over. Let me take a look at the last. Let's say the last 7 games. Let's go last 7 games. So last 7 years, Detroit at Chicago, 3-4. Yeah, balanced, very balanced. Last year's when was the last time they played here? 2020, and last year was a 34-30. Now you can see the first 3 here went under. Then we got 2 overs and under. So the 3 of the last 4 games at Soldier Field have gone over the total. So something to chew on for Sunday, right? All right, let's take a look at the best road teams the last 2 years. So let's go to September of last season. Let's go September 20th, and let's do this. Let's go to the 29th, September 2021. And survey says the best road teams. And let's take a look at the best road teams in the last 2 years. Patriots, not good, 3-7 against the point spread, 3-7 to the under. Miami 6-4 on the road, not bad, straight up and against the number. Buffalo 7-3 to the over. Look at that, 7-3 to the over, 7-3 straight up, 6-4. And when you do these type of exercises, you're looking for indicators and pointers, right? Like good teams find a way to win. And they find good teams find a way to win. Great teams find a way to cover. Hey, there's one I should trademark. Hey, get a little trademark sign. Ding ding ding. Trademark that. Good teams find a way to win. Great teams find a way to cover. Hey, I like that. What do you think of that? You guys like that saying? Hey, I should put that in my next book. Look at the Jets, 1-9 straight up, 2-8 against the number. Wow, 3-7 to the under. Man, the Jets are a mess, eh? The 2 New York teams. I saw a prop this morning. Which New York team's going to win the first game, the Jets or Giants? That's a tough one. Baltimore on the road, 8-4-1, 4-9 to the under. I like Denver this weekend. I like them a lot. Cincinnati 2-7 straight up. Let me see here. Pittsburgh, Steelers 6-3, 3-7 to the under. Yeah, Cleveland 6-5 straight up. Nothing really to write home about. 7-3 for the Colts to the over. You got 7-2 to the over for Tennessee. So maybe the over this weekend between the Titans and the Jets. Yeah, look at Jacksonville on the road, 0-9 the last 2 years. Ouch. Hey, that's a big ouch right there. Houston 2-7. Kansas City. This is what I mean. Kansas City's a good team. They're not a great team because if they were great, they'd cover the spread. 3-5-2 on the road. But having said that, I do like Kansas City this weekend. Denver 5-5, 7-3 to the point spread. I like, I do like Denver this weekend. Raiders 7-2, 6-3 on the road. So if you compare that to their 9-1, so 9-1 and 6-3, so they're 15-4 to the over the last 2 years. Man, that is just that's pretty crazy. LA Chargers 5-5, 5-3-2. Eagles 2-8. Look at the Eagles on the road, 2-8 straight. Man, what was I thinking taking the Eagles last Monday night? Hey, what man? You just want to kick yourself for taking that play. Dallas 3-7, 4-6. But if you win it, you look like a genius, right? Washington 4-5, not that great. Now we're talking about road teams the last 2 years. Look at the Giants, 7-2. I'm going to show you something on the New York Giants. In fact, let me do it right now while my train of thought is still on the New York Football Giants. All right, let's go to the those Giants and let's take a look at the New York Giants the last 3 years. This is one of the best road teams as an underdog. So let's do away team first, and we'll go to the last 3 years. So in my database, I got to put 4 years because it doesn't understand 3 years. So look at that, 19-7. Look at the New York Football Giants, 19-7 as an away team. How about as an away underdog? 17-4. Hello, hello. And where are the Giants playing this weekend? The New York Giants are in New Orleans, right? So something to think about when you are handicapping that game. Let me see. Minnesota did the Giants, right? Yeah, 7-2. Green Bay on the road, 6-4, 7-3 straight up. See, the good teams find a way to win and cover the spread, right? Even though 60% you might not think is great, it is good. You know, if you can give me 60% of all my winning picks, I'll take it any day of the week. Minnesota 4-6 straight up, not good. Chicago, not good. Detroit, yeah, we'll even look at Carolina, 8-1 against the point spread the last 2 years on the road. Hey, Carolina on my mind this weekend, that's for sure. New Orleans 7-3, 6-4 for the point spread. Tampa Bay 9-3. Man, what a crazy game that's going to be at Foxborough, this Gillette Stadium, right? Man, you can spend a whole hour just talking about that game. Atlanta 3-7 on the road, 5-5. Rams, the Rams. Hey, perception, right? You look at the Rams, you think, okay, last year they had Goff at quarterback. 6-5 straight up, 5-6 against the number, but 7-4. A little bit different than their home record of 9-1 or something like that. I said, or it was 3-7. I don't know. It was a good number to the under. The Seahawks 3-7. Man, they had a 17-7 lead last week and they blew it. San Francisco on the road 7-3, 6-4, and there's the Cardinals. Look at the Arizona Cardinals, 0-9-1 to the under. 0-9-1 to the under on the road. So if you like Arizona on the road, maybe this weekend, 0-9-1 on the road. In fact, let me take a look at Arizona the last 2 years. Arizona Cardinals actually as an away underdog. Look at that, 8-12. Let's go last 3 years. Let's do last 3 years or 2 years. 4-9, and so last 2 years. So this year 0-5. So last year and this year, or no, away underdog. Okay, that's why. Away team. Look at that, 0-9-1. And let me see, last 3 years. As an away team, 4-13-1. Wow. See, this is why when we do these shows, sometimes you don't even plan this out, right? You see something and then it triggers, and then you go. It's like going on a warpath, right? You're on a finding mission, a search and rescue mission to find winners, find pearls, right? As my good friend loves to say here, where's what is it, Sniper, or is it OG Wheat? Loves the pearls, right? All right, with Ron's pearls and daily info and stats, I'm on an epic winning streak. Profitable 15 straight days. Thanks for everything, Ron. You're welcome, Mark. And you know what? That's the one thing. And as a handicapper, would I love to be here and give you guys like the caramel secret each and every week? Absolutely. But sometimes you got to be a realist, right? I don't win forever. I don't lose forever. No, thank God. But the thing about doing this show, it's about collecting information, sharing information, and like Mark Nation just said, his daily info, and it's like you're going to when I go to football coaches clinic, right? One of the best sayings I ever heard on a football clinic is any coach that goes to a clinic, he didn't invent the inside zone, didn't invent the outside zone. He didn't invent the smash concept or the mesh concept. What we like to say is, Steal it, use it, share it. And that's one of the best things I've ever heard at a football coaches clinic. And I like to take that here too, right? And in sports handicapping, I watch other podcasts. I'm on a couple of newsletters, and the name of the game is steal it, use it, share it. But don't steal it if it's copyrighted. But don't mean it in that terms. But I'm just saying for information, use it, share it, and share the wealth, right? And if you got good information and people are winning, at the end of the day, people always come back to the well where they come back, right? Sometimes in business you have a good show, and if you give out good information, people will come back, right? You always come back and where you go back to the well, get some more water. And if you're dehydrated, you're not going back to that well because there's no more water to give out, right? Anyway, weird analogy, but that's what this show is all about. All right, what else do we got here? Oh yeah, so I wanted to do favorites and unders, right? So let's take a look at favorites and unders, and most handicappers are quirky. Hey, if you ever listen to handicappers, they're all over the place. That's one thing I love about handicappers. We might not be the sharpest knife in the drawer sometimes, but we got a great sense of humor, right? All right, let's take a look at the let me see here, 2020. But you got to be sharp sometimes, though, right? Can't be a dull knife. Let me see here, September. Let's go to the 29th, and then we'll go 2021. And let's take a look at the best favorites. So let's see who. Okay, let me try that again. Tape 2. Let's see who we can count on. Hey, let's see who we can count on as favorites the last 2 years. And this is where, okay, before I go through this exercise, think about this: perception versus reality, right? So when you look at New England Patriots, what's your perception as a favorite? And then let's see the reality. So do this exercise, and you'll see you'll have a good understanding on how a bookmaker thinks, right? So I always think these are a good exercise to do. As a favorite, the Patriots 3-8 to the under, and let me see here. You got the ones that are, look at Buffalo as a favorite, 14-2, 10-6. The New York Jets only been a favorite once. Hey, don't you love seeing that? Baltimore 13-5, 11-7, and this goes to sometimes the thinking of. If favorites are good, you hear this a lot of time, right? If you love a team, if you think they can win, they should cover the spread too, right? You hear that sometimes, but not every team, will do you that favor of winning and covering the spread, right? Look at Baltimore as a favorite, 13-5, but only 11-7. I say only, that's pretty good. They've only, covered the spread not twice, so that's pretty good when you think of Baltimore as a favorite, right? Now Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, 10-5. Now here's a good example of perception versus reality. The perception is Pittsburgh Steelers as a favorite, 10-5-2. I can't believe they have 2 ties. Okay, that one that's a mistake. So 10-5, but 7-10 against the point spread. Not too good, right? Cleveland 10-2, but only 4-7-1 against the number. Indianapolis 11-3, but only 8-6 straight up. Tennessee, look at Tennessee, 9-4. But 6-7 against the point spread. See, that's where I look at a team like Tennessee, who are 9-4 straight up, but only 6-7 against the point spread, right? So you got to be careful. That tells me you got to pick your spots with the Titans. Houston, nothing to write home about. Here's a perfect example. This should be if I do an example of perception versus reality in the dictionary, I should put a picture of the Kansas City Chiefs. 16-4, all right, 16-4. And when you look at their point spread record, 6-13-2. And this is where the bookmaker it really takes one or two teams and exaggerates the line. Kansas City Chief is a perfect example of don't get sucked in. But I'm taking the Chiefs this weekend, so I hope I don't get sucked in this weekend against the Eagles, right? Raiders 6-2, Chargers 6-4, nothing to write home about. Look at the Eagles, 2-4 and 1. Yeah, there is a tie, 23-23, but only 1-6 as a favorite. Dallas 2-8, but it's not the same Dallas team this year. New York Giants 0-3 as a favorite. Green Bay, they've been a favorite 17 times, and they've covered the spread 10 of those 17 times. Pretty good, right? Minnesota 8-2 to the over as a favorite, but look at that, 2-8. So Minnesota is one of those teams you probably like as an underdog, but not as a favorite. 2-8 as a favorite. Chicago 4-1 straight up. Panthers 1-5 as a favorite to the under. Saints 12-5, 9-8. So not a bad record. I think Sean Payton's one of the best coaches, top 4 for sure. Tampa Bay 13-3, 11-5 to the over. So a lot as a favorite. They play a lot of overs. The Rams 10-4 straight up, 8-6 against the point spread. 13-6. Seattle. Look at Seattle. 13-6, but only 9-10 against the number. And San Fran 7-3-1 is the favorite. And then Arizona, nothing to write home about last night. All right, one last one, and then we'll take a look at some of the picks for this weekend. Underdogs, and we'll go back to September of last year. And let me see how we're doing for time here. Let's go September 28. Yeah, we'll do 28. And we'll go 2021. And let's take a look at the best underdogs since last year. You know what? Nobody thought of that. Jags last night covered. Yep. I may live. Bets Jets, says Isaiah. All right. Oh, what happened here? I forgot to. Yep, this is what I forgot to do. I forgot to put all conference underdog 2020. See, this is where you have a nice cup of coffee and you just chill and enjoy the show. I know this can get tedious sometimes. Let me see here. Hey, they say you don't want. Anytime I do the show, I hate dead air time. Hey, I feel like my mind is thinking too much and it gets too loud, right? On dead air time. It's like, anybody gonna say anything? Let me see here. 28. Then let's go 2021. All right, underdogs. All right, let's go get her. Is there a tutorial? Yep. If you go to atsstats.com there, Curtis, you go to our website right here. In fact, let me do that for you right now. So let's go to, so Curtis is asking about tutorial. Go to tools, go to ATS tutorials, and everything about the Raymond Report is right here. 18 videos and a good way to kill maybe a couple hours watching these videos. And it gives you a bit of an understanding of the Raymond Report. All right. Thanks for asking, because a lot of people ask that, and they ask, hey, do you have a tutorial? Absolutely. All right, so there's the Patriots. So now we're looking who are the top underdog plays the last 2 years, right? So last season and the first 3 games of this year. So I just want to define 2 years. So people are saying, hey, that's not 2 years. Look at the Patriots to the under, 2-7, and they're an underdog this weekend against the Bucks. So maybe the unders might be a play. Miami 9-3 as an underdog. Hey, Brian Flores, it's the offense that's killing him. The offense in Miami is killing Flores. But I also think Miami's an opportunistic team. They always cash in for some reason on people other teams' mistake, and that's Miami's not a good football team. They're just opportunistic. But they got a good head coach. I do like Flores. I think he's a good head coach. The Bills is an underdog. Good luck getting them as an underdog. The Jets, look at the Jets, 2-16, 6-12 to the under, 6-12 against the point spread. When you hear a good friend of mine said this: when you bet on bad teams, expect good things. Keep guessing, keep wishing, right? Because when you expect bad teams to do good things, you're gonna wait a long time, and that's why you hear me say it all the time. I try not to bet on bad teams, especially in baseball. In sports. Now, the thing in sports investment and sports betting, I call it sports investment because you're not, it's investing and you got to pick your spots. And I try not to bet on bad teams. I try to stay away from teams below 50% in the standings because I say it all the time. They're like an old high school sweetheart. They're going to break your heart, right? But, money line. I'm talking money line. Point spread, it's a little bit different because you're not asking that team to win. You're just asking them to cover. But money line sports, two different things, right? But the Jets 6-12 against the point spread as an underdog. Cincinnati 5-12 and 1 as an underdog. Look at the Steelers 4-1 as an underdog. Just in, I like the Steelers this weekend. Cleveland 6-3 as an underdog. Look at the Colts as an underdog 0-6. Wow. Okay. Okay. Hey, I wish I would have saw that before I put my pick. Tennessee 4-3-1, 6-2 to the over. Jacksonville, well, yeah, we know the story there. Read that book twice. Houston 2-12. Kansas City, Denver 5-11 as an underdog, but 8-8 against the point spread. Raiders 9-2 to the over. So if you get the Raiders, but you know what? I think the Raiders' favorite underdogs are always going to play high-scoring games. Eagles, nothing to write home about. Washington. New York Giants 4-12 as an underdog. Look at the under. Maybe the under this weekend. I like the Giants on the point spread, but I think the under might be worth a look here too. especially against that Saints defense. I think the Saints have one of the most underrated defense in the league. What do you guys think? I think the Saints defense is phenomenal. You talk about New Orleans in the past. You talk about Drew Brees, Sean Payton, the offense. I think that defense needs a little bit more love, right? I think that defense is something else. I can hear Rusty. Rusty's going nuts with his satellite thing there in his head. He's probably wrecking a few porcelain dolls out there. I don't know. Let me see here. Detroit 3-12, 10-5 to the over. So let me see here. Carolina 9-4 as an underdog. Yeah, I like Carolina. You're on my mind this weekend. New Orleans, Tampa Bay as an underdog. You don't get Tampa Bay as an underdog much. And let me see here. Atlanta, Rams. I can just hear him. He's like, I can just hear Nally. What are you doing? All right, so those are the underdogs. So again, I know it's tedious. I know you guys are probably expecting picks and all that, but this show's about information. The research, right? And when I first set out to do this show, I want to show you guys some things that I do as a handicapper, and I gotta pump the tires sometimes, right? About the website. This website's been online now for 20 some years, and it's like I always say to people, it's like building a robot. It's a work in progress, and I'm just constantly. And you guys are gonna absolutely love this new feature that I'm working on right now. In fact, I'll give you a sneak preview of something I'm working on right now. This will be the new forecast, and what it is so let's go to Green Bay against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the Steelers are 6.5. The over under is 45.5. And what I want to do, I'm working on a new forecast with new formulas on theories that I believe that play a big part of today's sports betting. Now, the old forecast I built about 10 years ago, but I say it all the time. The goalpost has changed in sports betting. And what I'm doing now, so when you click on the Green Bay Packers, what I'm asking the database to do is this. Go get me in the past, and this will be called the past cast, is any NFL football team that's a 3.5 to 6.5 point home favorite. The total's between 44.5 and 47. That home team is coming off 2 straight up wins and 2 ATS wins. What's the record of that team? And what's the point spread record? So the straight up record is 23-9, 14-7 against the point spread, 13-8-2 against the number. And then I tinkered a bit with the forecast to include things that the bookmaker is thinking about, and it gives us. Oops, I just let me see here. Yeah, let me go back to there, and it gives us a new forecast. So this is something that I'm working on. I can't wait to set it up. It'll be a part of the feature here. But I just want to give you guys more pearls that I'm just dropping you guys here, right, on the Rain Report. So this will be something, hopefully next week it'll be ready. And it's something that I'm doing for NFL, college, all the sports, right? It's going to be for all sports. And you're going to see I'm hoping that it gets, the thing when you're in the sports betting industry, it's about getting as close as possible to the end result, right? And sometimes you got to tinker with the your tools. And again, let me bring this over here again, so this way you can see that again. And what it's going to do is going to give you a forecast, right? So that Packers-Steelers game, 25-18. The chances of winning, so it's still a little bit messed up, but that's why I didn't want to show you guys this here, because it's still a work in progress. But dropping little pearls here to show you what's to come later on, and it's going to be great, especially for college football. In fact, let me see if I can. Let me go back. Let me see here. Anyways, I'll get back to it. Where are we on the chart here? So we did that. Computer picks. All right, let's go to the NFL computer picks for this weekend, and then I'll do a couple of baseball games, and we'll see what's going on. All right, so let's go to that Pittsburgh and the Packer game. So Green Bay Packers, and I'll give you guys now the consensus newsletter last week. The underdogs went. Let me see here. Last weekend we gave out. I think we went 2-2. Yeah, we had New Orleans, Minnesota, Indy, Philly. And then we went 3-2 with the favorites. Now this week on the newsletters, I've only got 3 underdog plays and no favorites. None of the favorites made the list this week. So I don't have any favorites to share with you, but I will share with you the top 3 underdogs, which are 6-2 or something like that on the season, or 8-4. Let me see, what are they? 8-3. So the consensus underdog plays are 8-3 on the season, and I'll give you the top 3 consensus in just a few minutes. All right, so we got the Packers 22, Pittsburgh 18. I like the the Green Bay Packers. Week 1 against Green Bay, New Orleans got smoked. They barely beat a Detroit Lion team at home in the first half. They never showed up, but they flexed their muscle in the second half. They needed a last-second field goal to beat a San Fran team that really not that flashy on offense, but a pretty good defense. I'm hoping the Pittsburgh Steelers of Week 1 that beat the Bills show up this weekend at Lambeau. I love the Steelers in this spot at 6.5. Seattle taking on the 49ers, 27-26. And looking at my forecast here, the 49ers 2.5 point favorite. The over/under at 51.5. And I do like I like San Fran to win, but not to cover. I got the Seahawks covering this weekend. And you remember at the beginning of the year, I said I had a futures ticket on Seattle winning less than 10 games. I don't think they're going to win 10 games this year. You can't be one-dimensional on offense. And when I mean one-dimensional, I mean it's like they always wait for the big play, right? It seems like Seattle, when they win, it's all with the home run hits, right? It's not methodical, like, when you're like surgical, right? You like, 5 yards, 15 yards, a crosser, inside zone, a sweep, a screen. It's always like bombs away. And that's what I found the Seattle offense is all about, all or nothing, right? That's what I get a feeling with that Seattle offense. Tampa Bay against New England. Now, this game here, from an emotional point of view, you got everything playing out. This could be a movie, right? But when you take away the emotions and it's a football game, you got Tampa Bay against New England. Now, the way I see this game play out, Tampa Bay just signed Richard Sherman this week, right? What does that tell me? They are very light on the back end. New England, they're going to have to open up the playbook. I know Happy Feet likes to, doesn't like his 3 steamboats, but Mac Jones is going to have to start going, challenging defensive back more vertical, right? You got to get more vertical downfield. Hopefully you get more PIs, leads to a higher scoring game. I think the over is where you want to go in this game here. But, Ron, do you do post consensus plays on website? Anywhere, just give out your shows. Do you give out the post consensus plays on your website? Yeah, if you go to the front page, Mark, you'll see the I cut and paste the results of last week. It's all there. All right, you are wrong. We're seeing a different version of the Pats ever since he left. Yeah, we're seeing a bad Pats version right here, right? So anyway, this game here, I think the over is where you want to go. And I'm not touching the side. It's still Brady, and he's coming in pissed off, losing last week to the Rams. But the thing is, they got beat up last week. You saw that game was a physical football game. I think Tampa Bay's coming limping into this game, and the Patriots losing last week to a good Saints football team on defense did a good job on containing that offense. But this 34-27, and my consensus newsletters all like the Bucks, and the average score is 28-22. Cleveland taking on the Vikings. Now the Vikings, as we've seen, have done they do better as an underdog, right? Remember I showed you the stat. The Vikings do better as an underdog, and 30-29. The over/under at let me see here, 59.75. The consensus. I'm the only one on Cleveland. The other 2 are on Minnesota, and so Minnesota seems like to be the consensus newsletter pick of the week. But I do like Minnesota against the point spread, 2.5. Too tight to call. Too tight to call in my book. Tennessee taking on the Jets. The Jets. It's like handicapping a CFL team right now, right? The New York Jets. Tennessee coming into this game, coming off a win last week at they won their last 2, right? They beat Seattle and then they beat the Colts. Vrabel's got to slow out of the gate. With that loss in week number 1. Who did they lose to again in week 1? Who did they lose again in week 1? Let me go to my. I'm sure you guys remember quicker than I will. Bring it up. Tennessee. Arizona, right? Was it Arizona? Yeah, they lost to Arizona in week 1. So, so we'll see. The newsletters, the consensus this week. Tennessee, everybody's on Tennessee. Average score is 25-17. If you do like the Jets, it falls into that uncomfortable pick category, right? If you're taking the Jets, you're closing your eyes and you're holding your nose, and you're taking the Jets, and that's what I call the uncomfortable pick. And I'll show you at the end of this segment my uncomfortable picks. And this is a really good exercise to do. When you do the uncomfortable pick segment, you'll see that at the end of the day, when you watch the results, you're going to hit 50% or higher, because the bookmakers, again, they know what they're doing. They know how to play with the line, and do not fall into that headline trap of what I call headline handicapping, right? When you see the headlines, you see it at the sports centers, and they're always pumping the narrative on certain games. Don't fall for that. Baltimore taking on Denver. Now, my ATS calculator, where's my calculator? Look at this, atscalculator.com. I got Denver in killing them. Look at this. Hey, yeah, that's right. I said killing them. Not literally, but on the field, right? 17 points win for the Broncos, 44.2. Now, the question people are going to say is, well, you know what? The Denver hasn't played anybody. All teams they played, they're 0-9. But you know what? From my experience, it's strength of schedule. Yeah, it's important, but guess what? Every team's in the NFL. So Denver's beating NFL football players, and now they're at home against Baltimore, and Baltimore hasn't looked that great. Let's be honest. They went to overtime against the Raiders on Monday night, first week. Then they lost. They beat the Chiefs. They finally beat Mahomes, but the Chiefs were finding out, they're not who we thought they were. Hey, the old Denny Green line right there. They're not who they thought they were, and they let him off the hook. Hey, God bless Denny Green. And then Baltimore, needing a lucky field goal. So Baltimore's coming in on reputation. This is a reputation game. Baltimore, if you like Baltimore, it's because you're looking at the past, and right now, perception versus reality. They're a good football team. They got a great head coach. I think Harbaugh's in the top 5 head coaches, but you're coming in against a team who's red hot and have not let a lot of points against. In fact, when you look at their points against on the season, look at this. Last week, where is it? Let me see here. Down here. 13 points against the Giants, 13 against the Jaguars, and nothing against the Jets. So Denver's defense is for real, and I got Denver winning here. Maybe like my calculator, maybe not by the computer pick here. It says 26-25, but I like Denver here. I think Denver gets the job done. The G-Men taking on the Saints. I show you the Giants' record against the point spread on the road. It's absolutely sick. It's pretty good. 23-16, the over-under at 40.32. And looking at my consensus, 23-14 is the line here on most of these teams. So they love the Giants. But the Saints. But I think the Giants get the cover here this weekend. Carolina against Dallas. Now the Cowboys, you know what? Probably the most improved team from last year, right? When you go back and look at the tape, as they say. When you got your quarterback, the importance of a starting quarterback. And now, Jerry Jones is probably feeling good that he signed Dak Prescott to that contract. And Dak's living up to expectation now. Dak is looking really good. And you cheer for a guy like Dak Prescott, right? Good dude. And Carolina Panthers. Now you're getting the new head coach in town. There's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Matt Rule. And Matt Rule's doing a hell of a job. Like I said, all that he does is win. And winners win, right? And if you follow winners, and when you look at the coaching matchup, McCarthy against Matt Rule, that's all you got to say in that respect, right? I know the computer pick here likes Dallas 29-23, and my consensus newsletter. Let me see here. 2 of them are on Dallas. 1 is on Carolina. I like the Panthers here this weekend. I do like Carolina. Arizona against the Rams. Now, the Rams might be beat up here. That was a physical football game last weekend. And just like in college football, and I'll go back to the example, and I'm going to go back a few weeks. Do you remember when Toledo played Notre Dame at, I believe it was at Notre Dame, and then Toledo went home the following week to play Colorado State? Well, they got beat up against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and then they had nothing left in the tank for Colorado State as a 14.5 point home favorite, right? Now, I'm not saying, this is a college football game, but what I'm trying to get at is when you play physical football, it takes the body a big toll, right? It takes a couple of weeks. I think the Rams are beat up right now because that was a physical football game against a very good Tampa Bay defense. And then Arizona, look at the games they played so far, right? They're I wouldn't say they're cruising, but they're playing well. That Minnesota game should have been a loss. They shouldn't have won that game, but I'm thankful they did because I had them on the money line. But let's go take a look at Arizona right now. And let's take a look at all their games. Week 1, they had Tennessee. Week 2, they had Minnesota. And then week 3, Jacksonville. I think they were falling behind in that game, but they came back. And so really, they haven't, look at their scores. 38, 34, 31. And defensively, 33 against the Viking. That concerns me a bit. But when I look at the Rams going into this week and who the Rams have on deck, I thought they got Seattle on deck. So that's a big, is that a Monday night game? Seattle, let me see here. Seattle and the Rams. Yeah, it's a Thursday night game. That's right. So this is a Thursday night game. So Seattle, let me see here. The Rams. Yeah, Seattle's on a Thursday night game against the Rams, right? So the Rams are playing next Thursday as well. Seattle. So this is, a short week, right? And you're catching them in a Seattle and Tampa Bay sandwich right there. I think Arizona's the play, guys. I think Arizona is the play. Oh, shoot, sorry. You're right about that. Keep it down low. Well, keep it on the down low. Nice. Jags are now 3-1 ATS. I like Denver. Hey, sometimes I forget the chat that's going on here. How are we doing for time here? Oh, an hour 3. Okay, I got to hurry up. Let me see here. Let me go back to... All right, Kansas City Eagles. I like Kansas City in this game. 6.5 is the line. Andy Reid's been having not a good week, right? Last week, thank God he's okay. He was just dehydrated. I thought I read the reports that he was dehydrated, but now he'll be back. Philadelphia didn't look good on that Monday night, and now Kansas City. This is a big game for Kansas City, right? They're 1-2. Do you see Kansas City going 1-3? I don't. I see Patrick Mahomes now saying, okay, you know what? I got to step my game up. And the thing I want to see Patrick Mahomes do in the pocket is get the ball out within 3 seconds. You can't elaborate every play. Every play is not there's not a version 2 to a play, right? Like if you look at Patrick Mahomes, he's like Kreskin, right? He's always getting out of the pocket, throwing the ball over his head, waiting to the last second when he's being chased out of bounds. You got to be a quarterback. And I think this is a big game from a fundamental point of view for Kansas City on offense. Get back to fundamentals. And run the ball and find a running game, because quarterback's best friend's a good running game, right? So I like Kansas City this week, and I know my newsletters here are also, one of them is on, we're all on Kansas City, but the average score is 28-24. I don't think the Eagles cover. I do like Kansas City, and I'm hoping, I'm probably going to hold my breath, but I'm hoping that they win by 14. Detroit against the Bears. I like Detroit at Soldier Field this week. The situation, anytime you're playing, it's week 3, week 4, and you're playing quarterback roulette, and you don't know what quarterback to start, then you're done. You're done like dinner, right? Detroit, Campbell's doing a good job right there. Dan Campbell at Lions. Hey, you look at the Lions, you look at all their games, man, they're competitive. The one thing you can say about the Detroit Lions, they're a very competitive team. I think they love their coach, and they want to play for him. And when you look at the final scores, now that week 1 against San Francisco, they were never in that game, but they fought. The thing I liked about that game is they kept fighting to make it respectable. And then they lost 35-17 to the Packers. They played a good first half. Just, Packers made better adjustments at halftime. And then the game last week, they should have won, right? Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't. And this is why when you expect good teams to win, they find ways to win. Bad teams always find a way to lose. Unfortunately for Detroit, they found a way to lose last week. Indy taking on the Dolphins. Dolphins offensively, Jacoby Brissett did better than I thought he did last week. I like Brissett. I don't know why he ever left, Indianapolis. I think he's a great backup quarterback for the situation he was in last year. And, do I think he probably beat out Carson Wentz? Looking back, maybe. You know what? I think it was a big mistake to get rid of him. And for the Colts, now look at the Colts' first 3 games. Here's the reason why Indianapolis is 0-3 out of the gate. Look at their opponents that they faced. Let me scroll right down here. And look at their opponents, right? So week 1, you get the Seahawks, and it was the air show. Then you got the Rams week 2, and then you got Derrick Henry week 3, right? Division game right there. So tough games right out of the gate. Now you get a bit of a breather against a Miami Dolphin team that really, playing their second home game, and we all know what happened in the first home game, right? They got smoked 35-0. So I do like Indy in this game here today, and strength of schedule will be damn. Indy's got a Monday nighter next week against Baltimore, and the all 3 newsletters are on Minneapolis, but not to cover. Not to cover. All right, let me go to the next game here. Washington against Atlanta. Hey, nothing. Hey, this is like trying to put lipstick on a pig here, trying to make it look good. It's really tough to do, right? Washington 30, Atlanta 26. The over-under at 56.5. All newsletters here are on, 2 of them are on Washington. Only one's on the Falcons. I don't know, man. Arthur Smith, I think he bit more than he can chew so far. And Matty Ice is like Big Ben right now. Which one's going to retire first? This is a tough game to handicap. I'm going to lean right now. I'm going to lean with the Washington football team. Buffalo against Houston. I like the Bills here, but I'm not laying 17.5 points. I think Houston is the play at 17.5. I think that's where you want to go. And the Raiders taking on the Chargers. Hey, you know what? The Raiders got a chance to go 4-0, but they're facing a really good football team in the LA Chargers. Chargers are 3-1. And, that offense last week against Kansas City. Man, there's something about Herbert, right? Justin Herbert. It's just the confidence. I love his confidence. And looking at the Chargers this year, let me see. Week 1 against Washington. Washington's defense, they got no offense, but they got a good defense. Losing to the Cowboys by a last-second field goal, 20-17. Chargers could be 3-0, right? And who do they have on deck? They got Cleveland on deck, where the Raiders got Chicago. But, looking at the newsletters, all 3 are on the Chargers. And but the Raiders are not going to go away. Look at that, 25.05, 25.5. I do like the Raiders in this one, and it could be another like Cowboy-type game, right? It could be another Cowboy-type game. All right, this is Football Friday. We always do this each and every Friday. It's I know Major League Baseball. We're getting near the end, and today, who knows who's going to be in the lineup on Atlanta, Houston, all the teams that cover. I'm not laying 300 in Toronto Blue Jays. Now the consensus newsletters for this week. Last week, the consensus I gave you were 2-2. New Orleans, Minnesota, Indianapolis, and Philadelphia. The 6-5 straight up on the year, 8-3 against the point spread. The favorites are not that good, 7-9 straight up, 5-10. So good fading opportunity, but I got no favorites this week. The consensus newsletter picks had no favorites, but here are 3 underdogs for this week. Underdog number 1, the Carolina Panthers plus 4.5. Consensus newsletter pick number 2, Philadelphia plus 6.5. And consensus number 3, the Houston Texans plus 16.5. And those are your top 3 consensus underdog plays for today. Trends and Friends. All right, let's go to the Trends and Friends for Major League Baseball. And then that'll be a wrap. I'll put my baseball picks up at bullpenpicks.com. I apologize for not doing the baseball today, guys, but we all know Football Friday, right? Hey, we all know when we signed up what we signed up for on a Football Friday. There's no way you can go to Friday and not do football. It'd be sacrilegious, right? I'd probably get fired. Hey, I don't know who'd fire me, but I'd probably fire myself for not doing it. Let's go to the 80% Club. All right, what's up, gang? Says Eric Brown. How you doing, Eric? Hey. All right, let's go to Major League Baseball, and let's take a look at the trends and see if we have any friends. Oh, look at this one. Right out of the gate. The Milwaukee Brewers, 12-0 to the under as an away team in the month of October. The last 6 years, 92.3%. Pretty good one right there. The under, 9-1 for the Mets on Friday games this season. So if you like the Mets under on a Friday, it's hitting at 90%. You also have the Twins, 12-2 as a pick on the 120 road favorite, coming off a loss versus a left-handed pitcher since 1996. So that is an 85.7% angle right there. The under, 12-2 for the Tribe as an away team, coming off a game where they scored exactly 6 runs for last 2 years. The Mariners, man. I'm probably going to be playing the Mariners a lot this weekend. 10-2 as a home team on Friday. The over, okay, I don't want to touch that one. The over, 10-2 for Cleveland as a 120-140 road favorite, coming off an American Conference opponent this season. The under, 14-3 for the Orioles as an away team in the month of October. The last 10 years, they're playing the Blue Jays. And one more for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. And let's go. Hey, just made that up. Let's go. The Mariners, 9-2 straight up as a home team, coming off a game where they allowed only 2 runs against this season. That's a pretty good one right there. All right, there you have it, folks. It's all good, Coach. Ain't nothing wrong with overtime every now and then, says OG Wheat. Yeah, nothing wrong with overtime, right? Nothing wrong with a little bit of football love right here on a Football Friday. So there you have it, folks. That is the Rain Report today in a nutshell for a Football Friday. Hey, we used to call it, Thursday's a full Friday. We need a good nickname for a Friday, right? I know Mark Nation's pretty good with that stuff. Hey, with nicknaming our days of the week. But yeah, so there you have it, folks. Again, if you ever want to get in touch with me, hit the Contact Us button here at the bottom of the page and send me a note. And I'll be back here tomorrow, back 10 a.m. Eastern each and every day. I do a live podcast, and we talk about whatever's going on that day. Oh, speaking of that day, you know what? Let me, before I forget, any college football fans in the audience right here, let me get my college football plays for you guys today. And let me see who I got on deck. All right. So we got Iowa taking on Maryland. All right. We got the Hawkeyes taking on Maryland here tonight. The Hawkeyes a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under set at 47. And all three newsletters are on Iowa. And they all have them covering the spread. The average score is 27-19. But I'd be very careful. Maryland as a home underdog on against a team that's 4-0 on 5 days rest. Both teams are on 5 days rest. There's something that tells me that Maryland might be the play here, but we have 29-19, the over-under at 49. But there's better games on the board. You got BYU taking on the Utah State Aggies. Now this line's at 10, and I played Utah State earlier in the week at 8.5. So that's my free pick of the day today is Utah State, the Aggies, and all three newsletters here are on BYU. And the average score is about that. It's about 33-24, so it's close to 9. So you know what? Utah State plus 10 is I think is a nice gift. And the last game on the board, Houston taking on Tulsa. We got the Golden Hurricane winning 39-28, and the over/under set here at 67.82. So it looks like a high-scoring affair, but I think Tulsa's played a lot of low-scoring games this year. But let me see here. Last game, 34. They lose. Yeah, be careful. When Tulsa loses to Arkansas State, you know it's not going well, right? And Houston's last game was against Texas Tech, 38-21 loss. I thought. Wait a minute. Is that right? No, I don't think that's right because Texas Tech played Texas last week. So I'm gonna have to verify that. But Utah State is my free play today, and that's my top play today on a Friday, College Football Friday. And now I'm going to go take a look and see why. I'm having trouble with Houston in the database because there's Houston Baptism and Houston Cougars, right? And the database doesn't understand that, so we're getting that mixed up a bit. All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your Freaky Friday. That's what I'll call it, Freaky Friday. And I'll be back here on Saturday with another Rain Report.